Did you know there's a hidden side to every woman? A set of psychological triggers that, when understood, can completely shift the power dynamic in your favor. Most men miss this, but those who master it become unforgettable. Today, I'll reveal the secrets women don't want you to know. Trust me, once you understand this, you'll never need to chase again. Stay with me, because this could change everything. 1. The need for validation. Validation plays a critical role in relationships, but many misunderstand its true nature. Women often seek validation not just for attention, but as a way to affirm their worth and feel connected. Society has conditioned women to equate external validation with internal value, through beauty standards, social media likes, or even compliments from strangers. This is why validation feels like an emotional currency. But here's the twist. The more a man freely gives validation without her earning it, the less valuable it becomes. To stand out, you must give validation sparingly and authentically. This doesn't mean withholding compliments out of manipulation, but offering them only when they genuinely matter. For example, if she wears something new or makes an effort, highlight the specific details that caught your attention. I don't know what it is about that dress, but it's perfect for you. When you're specific, your words feel personal and irreplaceable, unlike generic compliments she might receive from others. Moreover, validation isn't always about what you say. Sometimes it's about presence. When you're fully engaged in a conversation, listening without distractions and making her feel heard, you're giving her a form of validation far more meaningful than words. However, here's the balance. Never let validation become one-sided. If she expects constant reassurance but offers none in return, she may be taking you for granted. Recognizing this balance sets you apart as a man who values himself while valuing her. 2. The emotional reaction trap. Women are masters of reading emotions and using them to test a man's character. Emotional reactions often reveal more about a man than his words. Whether it's a playful tease, a seemingly innocent remark, or a sudden withdrawal of attention, these moments aren't always random. They're often subtle tests to gauge your emotional stability and confidence. Unfortunately, many men fall into the trap of overreacting, becoming defensive, frustrated, or overly accommodating. So how do you master the emotional reaction game? First, understand that silence is often your most powerful tool. If she says something provocative like, "You're always so busy, maybe I should find someone with more time," don't jump to defend yourself or over-explain. Instead, pause, smile, and calmly say, "I'm sure you'll make the best choice for yourself." This response does two things. It shows that you're unshaken by her comment and that you won't play into emotional manipulation. Another critical aspect of avoiding the emotional reaction trap is recognizing patterns. If she frequently brings up the same topics or scenarios to provoke a response, it's likely a test of consistency. For example, if she complains about your priorities, don't immediately adjust your schedule to please her. Instead, acknowledge her feelings while reaffirming your boundaries. "I understand how you feel, but these commitments are important to me." Consistency in your responses reinforces your reliability and emotional strength. 3. The desire for security. Security is a foundational need in any relationship, but its layers go beyond the surface. Financial security might be the most visible form, but emotional and psychological security hold even greater weight. Women want to feel that they can rely on a man, not just for material needs, but for emotional stability, decision-making, and leadership. However, many men misunderstand security as simply being agreeable or accommodating, which can backfire over time. True security begins with self-assurance. Imagine this. She shares her worries about her career or friendships. A typical response might be offering solutions or downplaying her concerns. Instead, try this. I can see why that's been weighing on you. How do you think we should tackle it together? This not only shows empathy, but also reinforces her trust in your ability to navigate challenges with her. Consistency is another cornerstone of security. If you're someone who frequently changes plans, cancels commitments, or makes promises you can't keep, you're unknowingly eroding her sense of stability. Instead, build a reputation for reliability. If you say you'll be somewhere or do something, follow through, even with the small things. Over time, these actions create a solid foundation of trust. Lastly, avoid the trap of overcompensating. While it's natural to want to protect and provide, doing so at the expense of your own needs creates an imbalance. For example, if she constantly anxious about the future, reassure her without losing sight of your goals. You could say something like, I'm here for you, but let's focus on the present so we can build the future we both want. This balances her emotional needs with your leadership, reinforcing your role as a steady presence in her life. 4. The weakness of curiosity. Curiosity is often called the spark of attraction. Women are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand, and when a man presents himself as an open book, he risks losing that intrigue. This doesn't mean playing games or being deceitful. It means creating layers to your personality that invite her to explore deeper over time. One powerful way to spark curiosity is through controlled storytelling. For instance, if she asks about your past relationships, avoid diving into a long narrative. Instead, you could say, I've learned a lot from them, especially about what I value most. Maybe I'll tell you the full story one day. This plants a seed of intrigue, leaving her wanting to know more. The key is to share enough to engage her without giving everything away. Curiosity also extends to your daily life. If you're pursuing a goal or hobby, don't feel the need to over-explain. If you've been working late nights and she doesn't know why, she's likely to ask. When she does, keep your response simple. I'm working on something exciting, but I'll share more when the time's right. This approach keeps her invested in your journey without revealing everything up front. Lastly, maintain an element of unpredictability. Routine can dull curiosity, so introduce spontaneity into your interactions. Whether it's planning a surprise outing or sharing an unexpected insight about yourself, these moments keep the relationship dynamic and engaging. A man who keeps a woman guessing in a positive way creates a sense of adventure that deepens the connection. 5. The fear of losing control. The fear of losing control is one of the most overlooked dynamics in relationships. While many women appreciate confident and assertive men, they also value a sense of partnership and influence. However, when a man relinquishes too much control, whether out of fear of conflict or a desire to please, it creates an imbalance that can lead to frustration and resentment. To navigate this, you must first recognize the signs of control dynamics. For example, if she frequently tests boundaries, like changing plans last minute or pushing for decisions that don't align with your values, it's a sign that she's exploring the limits of her influence. The key is to stand firm without being combative. For instance, if she changes plans, calmly say, I value our time together, but last-minute changes make it hard to plan. Let's stick to what we agreed on. Another important aspect is leading with clarity. Women respect men who know what they want and aren't afraid to express it. If you have a vision for the relationship or a direction you're pursuing, communicate it confidently. This is where I see us going, and I'd like us to work together to make it happen. Leadership doesn't mean controlling every detail. It means creating a shared vision that she feels invested in. Finally, remember that control is often about perception. If you're consistent in your actions, clear in your communication, and respectful in your boundaries, you naturally project a sense of authority without exerting dominance. This balance reassures her while reinforcing your role as a capable and confident partner. The power of independence. Independence is one of the most underrated yet impactful traits a man can possess in a relationship. Women are instinctively drawn to men who have their own goals, interests, and pursuits. Men who are self-sufficient and don't rely on a relationship to define their identity signal strength and confidence, qualities that are universally admired. But independence doesn't mean neglecting her or the relationship. It's about maintaining a strong sense of self within the partnership. For instance, if you've always been passionate about fitness or a creative pursuit, never let go of those passions simply to accommodate her needs. Instead, let her see how deeply you value your individuality. You might say, "I love spending time with you, but I've been looking forward to hitting the gym today. It's where I reset and focus." Statements like this remind her that you're a man with purpose and drive. Another key to cultivating independence is keeping your social circle active. Many men make the mistake of abandoning their friendships when they enter a relationship, which can lead to dependence on their partner for emotional fulfillment. Instead, regularly spend time with friends, pursue hobbies, or network professionally. When she sees that you have a life outside the relationship, it not only creates balance, but also builds respect. A man who is valued by others naturally draws admiration and respect. Independence also extends to emotional strength. Women admire men who can handle challenges without falling apart. If you're facing a tough time at work or in life, share your struggles but remain composed. For example, you might say, "It's been a rough week, but I'm figuring out a plan to fix it." This shows her that while you're human and vulnerable, you're also resourceful and resilient, someone she can trust and admire. 7. The desire for growth. Women are naturally drawn to men who are always striving for more, whether it's in their careers, personal development, or even in the relationship itself. Growth represents progress, and progress is exciting. A man who embraces growth sends a powerful message. He's not satisfied with mediocrity and is constantly evolving to become the best version of himself. The first step to showcasing growth is setting goals and communicating them clearly. For instance, if you're working toward a promotion or learning a new skill, share your journey with her. "I've been spending extra time on this certification because I know it's going to open new doors for me." This not only highlights your ambition, but also involves her in your progress, making her feel invested in your success. Another way to demonstrate growth is by challenging yourself outside your comfort zone. Whether it's trying a new activity, reading thought-provoking books, or exploring different perspectives, show her that you're open to change and learning. You might say, "I've never been great at public speaking, but I'm joining a group to improve. It's uncomfortable, but I'm excited for the challenge." Statements like this reveal your courage and commitment to self-improvement, qualities she will deeply respect. Finally, remember that growth isn't just about you. It's also about how you inspire growth in her. Encourage her to pursue her own goals and celebrate her achievements. If she's considering a career move but hesitating, say something like, "You've got the skills and the drive. I think you'd be amazing at it." Supporting her ambitions while maintaining your own creates a dynamic relationship built on mutual growth and respect. 8. The strength of mystery. Mystery is a quality that has intrigued women throughout history. It's not about being secretive or evasive. It's about leaving just enough unsaid to spark curiosity and keep her guessing. A man who reveals everything about himself up front often loses the element of intrigue that makes a relationship exciting. One way to cultivate mystery is by pacing how much you share. For example, if she asks about your childhood or past experiences, don't feel pressured to spill everything in one sitting. Instead, offer glimpses that invite deeper conversations later. There's a story about my high school days that's both embarrassing and hilarious. I'll tell you sometime. This approach keeps her intrigued and looking forward to uncovering more about you. Another aspect of mystery is unpredictability. This doesn't mean being inconsistent or unreliable, but rather adding a touch of spontaneity to your actions. Surprise her with a thoughtful gesture or an unexpected outing, like planning a picnic at her favorite park. These little surprises show her that you're attentive while keeping the relationship fresh and exciting. Mystery also applies to your demeanor. Men who exude calm confidence and don't feel the need to explain every decision appear far more intriguing. If you're working on a personal project, for example, don't immediately divulge all the details. Instead, say something like, "It's something I'm really passionate about. Once I'm further along, I'll share more." By holding back just enough, you create an air of intrigue that draws her closer. 9. The value of boundaries. Boundaries are essential in any relationship, yet they're often overlooked or misunderstood. Many men fear setting boundaries because they worry it will push her away. In reality, healthy boundaries demonstrate self-respect and create a foundation for mutual respect within the relationship. The first step in establishing boundaries is knowing your non-negotiables. These are the values or priorities you won't compromise on, such as your career goals, personal time, or friendships. For example, if you value your weekend hobbies, make it clear early on. Saturdays are my time to recharge and focus on my hobbies. It's important to me. When you communicate boundaries confidently, she's more likely to respect them. Boundaries also come into play during conflicts. If she raises her voice or becomes disrespectful, calmly but firmly address it. I value having discussions where we can both express ourselves without yelling. Can we try to talk this through? This ensures that both of you feel heard and respected, which strengthens the relationship. Calmly standing your ground shows her that you won't tolerate disrespect, while also fostering a healthier way to communicate. Finally, remember that boundaries go both ways. Respecting her boundaries is just as important as enforcing your own. If she needs space or time to herself, honor her wishes without taking it personally. This mutual respect creates a balanced dynamic where both partners feel valued and understood. 10. The art of emotional detachment. Emotional detachment is not about being cold or unfeeling. It's about maintaining composure and control over your emotions, especially in challenging situations. Women are naturally attracted to men who can handle their emotions with grace and don't let external circumstances dictate their behavior. One way to practice emotional detachment is by reframing your mindset. Instead of viewing her actions as a reflection of your worth, see them as opportunities to understand her better. For example, if she pulls away or becomes distant, resist the urge to chase or demand answers. Instead, focus on your own growth and hobbies. This sends a powerful message that your emotional stability doesn't depend on her behavior. Another aspect of detachment is choosing your battles wisely. Not every disagreement needs to be addressed, and not every comment warrants a response. If she makes a sarcastic remark, for instance, respond with humor or simply let it slide. By refusing to engage in unnecessary conflicts, you maintain your peace and show her that you're not easily rattled. Finally, emotional detachment also means embracing the possibility of loss. A man who clings to a relationship out of fear of losing it often becomes needy or controlling. Instead, remind yourself that you'll thrive regardless of the outcome. This mindset not only boosts your confidence, but also makes you more attractive, as it shows her that you value yourself above all else. Thanks for watching. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more insights. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts.